All right. Good evening, everybody, and good afternoon to those of you who are Central, Mountain, Pacific Time, Eastern Time. Good evening, everybody. Glad you could join me on tonight's podcast. And I'm very excited about tonight, Monday evening, my very first podcast here on the Grown Folk Talking Network, and I do mean my first independent podcast. And I'm excited. I'm also very grateful and very thankful to my very capable and very intuitive friend and host of her own podcast, Miss Adrienne Cantine, who I can't thank enough for giving me an opportunity to share on Grown Folk Talking Network on Friday evenings, the third Friday at 6 p.m., bringing you paradigm shifts. Also, very grateful and thankful to all the podcasters here on Grown Folk Talking Network. I want to tell you all that you're all awesome, you're all wonderful, and I could not have come across a greater group of capable and inspirational individuals such as all of yourselves. So if all of you are in a position right now to give yourself a pat on the back, take a bow, ladies take a curtsy, please go ahead. It's okay as we get ready to get started with this evening's podcast. Welcome to the Grown Folk Talking Network. Express yourself. And tonight's podcast series is called From Poverty to Prosperity. Once again, that's From Poverty to Prosperity. Now, I want to just let everybody know, this is how I run my podcast. I have a sit down at the table policy. This is the boardroom. This is the planning room. This is the discussion room. However, there is order. So we follow a certain order here. You come in, you sit down, you sit at the table, and you join the discussion. You are the planners. You are the ones who plan. You are the architects along with myself. Those of us who choose not to be a part of the discussion, but to observe, to listen, to take notes, and then later on to share. You are the delegates. You are the planning outreach. You are the ones who give out the plan to those who are looking for the information, and then those who are looking for the information are directed back here to where they can hear the planning in action. Okay. So, first things first, poverty. Poverty. Does anybody on this line know what poverty is, what it means, what it does? Has anybody been through it? Can anybody say yes to that? Anyone? Anyone?
I am thinking, good evening.
Good evening.
Not necessarily. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. And how are you this evening?
I am great. Thank you. Looking forward, as Indigo said, to the success of another one of your great expressions. I don't have the Webster dictionary for the dictionary meaning for it, but I would believe that poverty is pretty much a social and financial state of being below a good standard of living financially first, and then socially could vary, but definitely financially living below what the government may put in place as a standard of living, and even what you may put in place for how you would prefer to live versus how you're able to live based on your economics.
Okay. That's a very good definition there, yes, and a good explanation, and that is correct. And I'm also looking for some other input as well because I have some input to share to piggyback off of what you just said about me. But I want to get some more input and feedback because this is very important. Anyone else? Poverty. Who can say what it is? Who can identify what poverty is? What it does? What it means? How do you...
Miles Williams.
Miles, brother Miles. Good to hear you. Good to hear you. Yes,
What's going on?
Well, on the podcast here, Poverty and Prosperity, right now we're getting a working definition for the word poverty. Do you know what it is? You got a definition? Have you been through it? Have you experienced it?
I'm sorry, I can hardly hear you. My phone is kind of...
Oh, okay. Have you been
You
through
sound
poverty?
a little far away.
Okay.
Oh, I'm in Patterson.
No, Miles, I think that's me. Hold on. Is this better? Can you hear me better now?
That sounds a lot better.
Okay, great. Okay. Little technical glitch here, but I think I figured it. Okay, poverty. We're getting a definition for that word right now because tonight's podcast is going from poverty to prosperity. So, Miles, can you tell us what poverty means? What it is in your mental, your definition? What is poverty?
Well, I think it's poverty is and my definition of poverty is like some people have it, some people don't.
Okay.
It's all how you deal with it.
Okay.
I could have a lot of problems, but I could be happy.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people who don't have problems ain't happy. It's a part of life, you know. This is one thing we go through life with, you know. There's going to be good times, bad times. You're going to have people that's like struggling. I don't know why you want to use that word struggling. I just look at it like this. You should be thankful that you get up every morning and have another day to live and make the best of it. Because people are just doing way better than us, having bad times too.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way that the way people use the words. You know, you could make it a sad day for yourself, or you could just make it, hey, this is my life, this is where I live at, and I got to enjoy it while I can.
I like that. Thank you, Miles. Anyone else before we get into the meat of this tonight? Does anyone else have...
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I most certainly can.
Yes, we hear you.
Good afternoon, Marcus. This is Valerie, and I think poverty is a lot of different things, but mostly I think for financially, it could be economically, it could be education-wise on the lower spectrum scale, the lack of means for anything that you're trying to do as far as, you could say, education, health, village where we live. It's on a poverty scale. That's what I would say right now.
Yes. We actually hitting on all cylinders now. Yes. Okay. Poverty can stretch over a plethora, a smorgasbord of different areas in life, circumstances, situations, where we are, where we live, who we are, what we have. Yes, it can. It can encompass all of those things. Education, workplace, home life, social life, friendships, just basically what we have or what we don't have. But let me offer this. I want to offer this. And I want everybody just to take a few seconds to think about this, because I'm going to say something here that you probably all heard before. Poverty is a result of the way that we express our beliefs.
Yeah, that's true.
Think about that for 1 second. No, I'm going to give you all 30 seconds. I'm going to say it again because I want this to really hit home with everybody. Poverty is nothing but a result of the expressions of what we believe.
True.
Okay. 10 more seconds. I'm going to let you think about that. Let it marinate just a little bit because I got something else that I want to give to you as well.
Sound like you got the big dictionary out.
Not yet. I think we all going to work on that one. But we going to get it. We going to get it right. All right. Let me offer this. I'm gonna offer this. And I want everybody to really anchor in because we're about to go for a ride. As we know, as most of us know, okay, there's a history here. A history that dates thousands and thousands of years back. Okay. There's always been those who have controlled and those who have been controlled. And the historical cycle repeats and then it reappears, it rinses, it repeats. And it does this over and over again. It happened with the Mongols, with Genghis Khan. It happened with the Vikings, with Eric the Red. It happened with the Persians, with Emperor Xerxes. It happened with the Egyptians, with the Akhenaten, King Osiris, Queen Isis, and so on and so forth and so forth. There have always been those whose ideas and belief systems were expressed, but in what way? A way in which to make others subservient to their beliefs and unable to express their own belief systems, therefore adopting the ideas of someone else, which causes them to carry out someone else's will.
And that you know, as you speaking on that, as children we are taught certain ways, but we ain't listening to nobody listen to what we believe. This is the way it's gonna be. You're gonna be this, you're gonna be that, and that's how it's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
But if you say I don't want to be that, all of a sudden you lost your mind. Something wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Yes. Now, yeah, we hitting on all cylinders right now. They getting hot. The pistons are really getting worked up right about now. Okay, we're about to get a little bit more heat to this situation here because I want everybody to really get this. Okay, and if it gets a little bit heated in here, a little bit more, how could I say, more of a rise in what you would call your own internal temperature, do not panic. Do not attempt to adjust your controls. You are okay. Okay, I just had to say that. All right. So check this out. I want to say this. Poverty is really not the same as austerity. However, austerity can be a symptom of poverty. Now, poverty, as we have been taught, has been what someone else has put forth and said, this is called poverty. This is what you have in your hoods, in your ghettos, in your projects, in your brick towns, okay, in your flats. This is where you live. But see, the other people with the picket fences and the fresh green lawns and the 2 dogs and a cat and the 2 boys and the 2 girls and the mother and father, everybody's smiling on the front porch, and the 2-car garage with 2 cars and 4 bicycles in it. That's where you want to be. That is prosperity.
Mm-hmm.
That is somebody else's narrative of prosperity. Now, where I'm going with this is this. Really, you have to think about, where does this all come from? Where do these beliefs that we hold on to and adopt, where do they come from? And once we understand where they come from, then we understand how they have a hold of us, how they have their hooks and their claws into us, and how they siphon away the very energy and ethereal essence that we carry inside of us, so that we ourselves can carry out what it is that we propose in our own thoughts as wealth, as prosperity, as legacy and posterity for our own selves. In other words, the speed limit is 55, 65, 75 in some places. Those are signs posted everywhere. Now, I guess that those are signs that are needed, because some people without them would be going about 110, maybe 130, and not really caring about other people. So I can understand that that's something that applies to everybody, because we want everybody to get to where they're going in one piece. There's no need to really speed like a bat out of hell to get somewhere that if you just slow down, you're just going to get there, and everybody's going to get there together in one piece without incident. Okay, I can understand that. But when you have the other narrative that says, well, we can't extend you any type of credit because you're not worthy. You don't have a high enough credit score. Your history of payments is not that good. We feel that you're a high risk. So therefore, if you want this, you have to do this, and this, and this, and jump through this hoop, and go through this door, and twirl this baton, and spin this plate, and spin around on your heels, touch your toes, bend over backwards, put your hand on your nose, put it in your ear, rub the top of your head, pat your stomach, and sing Ting-a-ling-a-loo all at the same time. Impossible.
Especially when you got to keep up with it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're talking about here is not the outward result of what it is we see. It's the inward mechanism of what we think and believe. Understand something. The power of suggestion is one of the most influential things in this universe. One simple suggestion can go viral over this whole planet of billions and cause an average of about 40 to 55% of the world's population to adopt a simple suggestion. Case in point, and I'm not going to say it, and I don't expect anybody else to say it, but just listen to me and understand where I'm coming from. would you have ever thought to see the day that everybody would be in the house?
No,
Just like
because
Mama used to tell us?
because I know when I was growing up, our mother always taught us that one day you're going to have your own place. And how you going to deal with that? Because, like, she always tell us, as long as your rent paid and your light and gas is on, you got a home. But if you take, like, $200 and you buy a pair of sneakers for $200 and your light bill's $130, you have to buy the sneakers and pay your light bill. Don't be mad if you're in the dark.
Exactly, because the power of suggestion.
Yeah.
It's not the outward appearance or manifestation. The outward is not the issue. It's not the real problem. It's the result. It's more of a symptom of what's going on inside. Because if you really realize, everybody who chases a dollar never seems to live long enough to enjoy it. Because a dollar, piece of paper, whatever you want to call it, number one, can't be put on a plate so that it can be eaten and give you nourishment. It can't be put in a glass so it can quench your thirst. It can't be used as a gauze or a Band-Aid or a sieve to actually ease and heal a wound. It can't be used for clothing. It can't be used to make a vehicle of some type for you to roll on the road in, because if you did make one out of all of these dollars, by the time you came back to your car, it would be gone anyway. It can't be used to build a house, because as soon as you left the house and went out, about 10 minutes later, you come back, the whole house would be gone if it was made of dollar bills. It can't actually do anything to enhance your appearance. If you stick it on your face, it's only going to stick there. It's not going to make you look any better. It's not going to make you feel any better. It's not going to make you run faster. It's not going to make you jump higher. It's not going to make you build your muscles. It's not going to make anything better for you, because it is just a thing. It is a good servant, is a terrible master.
Yeah. I see that in a lot of people on the street today.
Exactly. But once we realize that the real value was within us all along, we understand what place these things have. And it's not in our heads and in our belief systems, but it is at our disposal as tools to be used in order to obtain prosperity. In other words, let me put it another way. Everybody probably heard of Muhammad Ali, greatest heavyweight boxer of all time.
Right.
Now, what made Ali so good in the ring, yes, it was the fact that he was quick, elusive, and he had power in his punches. But his best tool, which gave him the edge, was his mind and what he spoke out of his mouth as his beliefs. Because, I'm going to tell you, when he fought George Foreman in Africa, the Rumble in the Jungle in Zaire, Ali didn't beat George with power and slugs and punching bombs. He didn't do that. He got in George's head. He psyched George up.
From the beginning.
He had George believing things that weren't even real. And Ali told him, he said, I'm going to whoop you, boy. I'm going to get you down here in Africa, and I'm going to put the Ulu on you. I'm going to whoop you, boy. And he had George shook. And then you know what he did? He got George shook, then he insulted him and got him mad. And you know what George did? George believed everything that Ali said, and George reacted to it exactly the way that Ali wanted him to. And then Ali stood on those ropes and said, hit me, George. Come on, George. Hit me, George. Look, I'm still prettier than you, George. You can't hit me in my face. And he would move and duck out of the way of those bombs that George was throwing at his head. He said, come on, George, hit me. And around round 7, George got tired. He said, you know what, George? This ain't the right place for you to get tired. Because, see, if you can't, now it's my turn. And he knocked him out. And you know what he said after that? He got on television and he said, hey, George Foreman can never be better than me because I live in George's head rent-free. George ain't never going to evict me. And he was right. Because George's belief system was now Ali's tool.
Yeah, because I always said that Ali made George think what Ali wanted him to think, not what he was thinking. Take it all out to his head, and this is what I'm going to do to you. And George started believing it.
And look at how it has taken shape today with us, financially, where we live, what we think we qualify for with our food supplies, where we think we got to get it from, instead of us being the ones to say we're going to raise our own. And our education systems, where we think, oh, well, you know, we got to send the kids off to school, but how much more do they know than we do? That has been passed down for generations. And who's to say that what the schools give can just be a supplement to what is given at home? How come we can't start the businesses? How come we can't be the ones to start trades, start to have business commercial relations with people in other places? If we want cleaner food, if we want better clothes, if we want better supplements, if we want good food, clean water, how come we can't talk to other people about that? Why do we feel that we have to wait for somebody else to decide what is best for those situations? I'm just asking a question. I'm just begging a question. Because if you think about it, doesn't it kind of seem like what happened to George? When George went in there and automatically thought, this guy right here, he doing this to me, and he doing that to me, and I'm going to get him. And then he went in there and he got knocked out.
Yeah, because everybody used to be scared of George. Everybody was scared of George. George looked at you. George looked at you. You'll give up your whole mentality. But Ali went there and used he used his brain. And then what?
Yes, Brother Leon, please.
I came in the room kind of late. I actually had a chance to be in the ring with Cassius Clay. That's what his name was when I was in the ring with him. And a lot of other greats. I never got in the ring with Foreman, but I got in the ring with Frazier, Norton, Ernie, a few people back in the day. But they had a reason to be scared of George, because George was knocking everybody out, period. And all Ali did was had a strategy to make George punch himself out. And that's how he actually got George, by just out-strategizing him. I don't know what the conversation was, what the topic was, because, like I said, I came in the room. But I know Forrest is on this line, and I just want to say that we made the right decision in putting you in this slot, in this place, brother, because you bring a lot of wealth and information. Sometimes you have to learn to turn the other cheek no matter what. Even Ali and Frazier was at it, but they ended up being friends. So did Foreman. So did a lot of greats. But we have to collectively, no matter what's going on behind the scenes, we have to do better collectively as a people, and sticking together. Stop turning and trading on each other. We got to learn to do a lot better. But, brother, what I want to do is congratulate you on this slot. I didn't make the wrong decision when I told Forrest that you should have this slot. And I rest.
Thank you, Brother Leon. I appreciate your input. Just to bring you up to speed on the topic, it's from poverty to prosperity. And the actual subtopic of that is poverty is not what we see on the outside in terms of where we are and what we have, but it is a result of our belief systems and how we express those beliefs. So in other words, a big giant experiment. We've been conditioned.
So are we the rats that's on that spinning wheel not going nowhere?
Some of us, yes, we are. And we have been for a very long time.
Very long time.
Yes, we have. We just didn't realize it.
I'd rather be in the one where they put me in the maze and I got to find myself through there, because every time I go through that maze, I'm finding a way to get out quicker and quicker. So I'd rather be that one. I don't want to be on that wheel. So keep doing what you're doing, brother. I appreciate the conversation. I'm going to go back on mute, brother, and congratulations for this spot, y'all.
Thank you, Brother Leon. I appreciate that. I appreciate your input, and I appreciate everybody on the line who's giving input right now. Brother Miles, Sister Indigo, Sister Evadne, Brother Leon. Anybody else? I want you to chime in. We're getting somewhere with this now. We're actually moving. We got the car warmed up. We done took it out of park. We done shifted it into drive. The transmission done caught. All right? And we're moving now. Anybody else see where this is going? Does anybody else see a difference? Just a slight difference, even if it's just 1% of a degree. Does anybody see something just a little bit differently right now? Just a little bit of light coming into the room. A little bit.
Marcus?
Yes, Evadne.
So it's interesting because it's all about perspective. And as Leon mentioned, we're put into this cage and the ideas that we spin around. But as a tax preparer, I do see people who are technically low income, not only more wealthier than 2- and six-figure income earners, but handling their money better, handling it better, with saving, with investing, or first and foremost, with budgeting. So though they are technically lower in income, they are not lower in class, and they are not lower and looking forward to the future.
Yes.
All about perspective.
Yes, and I will agree with that, because here's the thing. Wealth does not simply exclusively include finance. Wealth is a whole pycnogonal of everything that makes up what we would consider to be someone who is very well off. That means someone who has, for example, a place, a residence, someone who's able to, dress decently. Maybe you don't have the latest fashions or the nicest threads, but what you have looks good, and you wear it well. No matter if you wear it once or twice, somebody sees it, or if you wear it sparingly and spread it out. You look well, you eat well, you're clean, you have resources, you have ways to get around. Every time somebody sees you, you're always, up to par and up to snuff. They've never seen you out begging. They've never seen you down in the dumps, and you're always the one that people will look to say, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? I got this thing going on here. I just wanted to get your opinion. And it's not that you've made a reputation, for yourself, just by going out and talking and saying things, but it's just that you've made a reputation for yourself because of the way you have conducted your business before other men. That's a part of prosperity. It's the mindset. It's not the physical tally in total. Because I'm going to tell you right now, there are some people that I know will get $100,000 and go through it in 30 days or less. I'm not kidding. And have nothing to show for it. It's a mindset. They don't know how to handle the road to prosperity, because as soon as they get something that can lead them down that road, it's gone. Because they want to live in the moment, and they want to spend everything that they have on things that they would like to live but can't live continuously. So they go out and they spend and splurge and spend and splurge, and then come back and still have the mortgage to pay, still have the car notes to pay, still have the insurance to pay, still have food in the house, still have utilities they got to pay, still got to have clothes, still got to have medical, whatever. All these things are still there. Play the lottery, hit big. What happens? Broke within 5 years. Anything to show for it? Not really. The conditioning goes deep. It goes deep. Because the conditioning has us thinking, if only I could have that thing right there, my life would be all right. Wrong. You got to have it together within you first, so that can be the expression of what you manifest. As a wise man once told me, he said, Marcus, remember this, because it's going to serve you well. You're only going to be able to keep what you can give away. You're only going to be able to keep what you can give away. That's your ether. That's your energy. That's your frequency. Those are the seeds that go out. And harvest time always comes back around. Always. So, as an introduction today, we've gotten a basis for our foundation. From poverty to prosperity does not begin with the amassing of great wealth, dollars and cents, real estate and property, investments and brokerages, yachts and barges, jewelry, extravagant vacations. It doesn't begin there. It has to begin inside, because you have to have the mind of somebody who can handle such a great responsibility. Because all of that should be wielded with great responsibility, because it is a powerful tool to us. Only if we use it wisely will we benefit from having it. Got to change our thinking first. We have to change what we think about, how we think. What is our thought? Step outside of yourself. Look at yourself. With yourself. With ourselves. and ask ourselves the question, what is it that you want? What do you really want? Not what somebody has put into your head to believe you need. No, what do you want? What do you want? Where are you going? Where are your feet taking you? Not where somebody else is trying to get you to go. Where are you going? And are there others who think like you who are going in the same direction or want to? That's our path from poverty to prosperity. That's where it begins. It begins with us. Changing the way that we think. Changing the way that we do things, the way that we behave, the way that we act, the way that we move. The mindset has to be one of abundance. I have abundance. Why? Because I have gifts and talents. And those gifts and talents are what manifest things on this realm. Do you understand how the masses are all doing the same thing and that gives a result from one simple suggestion? Hundreds of millions of people all behaving the same way causes a result, a manifestation of things. You see it all around us, people. But it doesn't mean that we have to be caught up with the caught up. Instead of being the actors, we can come off the set and sit in the director's chair of our life and say, okay, cut. We can control the action. But we have to believe that we can do that. And sometimes that takes us to get with ourselves and straighten ourselves out like nobody else can. Then, and only then, can we start to take the steps that we need to take. From poverty to prosperity in all things. So that's the foundation, people, for this special introduction edition. That's the foundation. At this time, what I'd like to do is I would like to extend... Goodness gracious.
Uh-oh. Hello? Hello?
I'm here, Indigo. It sounds like he may have gotten cut off or went on mute by accident. So he may be back. He should be back.
All right.
This was a great show. When he was speaking, though, the one thing I thought about was being in alignment. That's why it's important that we know our purpose, and so that our energy could move in the same way that our purpose is designed for it to move, staying in alignment. And as he mentioned, surrounding yourself not with people who are like you per se, but people who are also in tune to purpose and alignment to fulfill, really, the greater creation, where we all come with our purpose, and it's important to know it. And you know what they say, and get your mind right, you know. Our minds have been so conditioned from the time they slapped us or even if they didn't have to slap us, some of us came awake, like crying, but they still did their best to control your pattern. And it comes from our parents as well. They were controlled, so they don't even know that they're continuing such a process. But,
Right.
this was a very good conversation, a very good talk. Looking forward to its future.
Yeah, me too.
What did you get out of it?
Me, I definitely got out, like, the first thing he said, that when he said wealth doesn't just mean finances. Wealth means, you know, you have your food on the table, you have clothes on your back, you have great health, you know?
Absolutely. Everything, people say, oh, that doesn't matter. That doesn't, no, everything matters. Everything matters.
Yes, it does. Yes.
And your happiness and the joy and your responsibility, especially to others, especially to children. It's so important that all of those things are in place.
Yes.
Miles, are you still there?
I think he went off too. I'm not sure what happened.
I think he's going to try to come back on. I heard the phone go off. Is there anyone else who would like to share what they got from this preview, the special preview From Poverty to Prosperity, hosted by Marcus? Would you like to share? Okay.
Hello. I just think it's congratulations to Marcus, even though he stepped away or got cut off for this show, and I think it's gonna be very interesting to hear the upcoming topics about poverty,
Yes.
wealth. So I'll just say blessings to the show, and everyone that's on here, have a great evening.
You too, everybody.
So the upcoming show at 8 p.m. is Belief System, hosted by King David. That's on Mondays at 8 p.m. Every morning at 7 a.m., Grown Folk Talking has a prayer line that everyone can come on to get your special prayer. And on Tuesdays at 6 p.m., we have Grown Folks has Grace Space with Jada. And at 7:30 p.m., the Pink Sofa Talk with Carol Lucille. Does anyone have any final comments? And as Marcus mentioned, if you have a show on this network, would you like to announce your show? Also, Grown Folk Talking, August 10th, is hosting a health and wellness event in Newark, New Jersey at the Salvation Army. It's donations, it's vegan food, it's powerful workshops, information, and everyone is welcome. Family, event, information, education, and some great nutrition. Anyone else? Well, on behalf of Marcus, I think somebody is on who could stop the recording, but on behalf of Marcus And from poverty to prosperity, you can come back next Monday at 6 p.m., which is going to be the regular time for the show. And it's like he said, you're coming to the boardroom, coming to receive, coming to incorporate yourself in the conversation. It is what Marcus does at the boardroom. Marcus, have you returned? Okay. I know he was taking the show till 6:30 today. So if anyone is on who can stop the recording. All right now. Okay, so once again, from Poverty to Prosperity, hosted by Marcus. He's also the third Friday of the month at 6 p.m. with Adrian, and he is here for Paragon Shift, which kind of goes the same way. So call in 520-525-8633. You can get the entire show lineup to hear all the shows on the Grown Folk Talking Network. Wishing everyone a great day.